everyone, welcome back to Nightcrawler. Today we're going to be looking at my top 10 favorite animatronics ever sold by Spirit. Before we begin, I just want to say thank you so much for 500 subscribers. I can't believe that we made it this far, and it means so much to me, and I promise you're going to get so many more videos if you keep subscribing. And just once again, thank you so much for the subscribers. So now let's get on with the ranking.
The farmer in the dell is going straight to hell. Welcome to my farm. You're just in time for the harvest. Hey, my lantern here is dead. Anybody got a candle?
At number 10, we have Barnyard Butcher. First of all, this guy is absolutely terrifying. I love how he's holding the woman's head in one hand and then the knife in the other. And I also love how he's just kind of this weird kind of scarecrow monster almost. I also think he has a pretty fair amount of gore to him, and I really just kind of miss the gore a little bit. I also think I said this maybe in one of my other ranking videos and in the Max Straw unboxing. I love the animatronics with the side-to-side movement. So that'd be like side-to-side turning head, torso, something like that. But also something I love about this guy is that he has mouth movement. And that's something I really look for in an animatronic. Also, his design is terrifying. I really just love how scary old Spirit animatronics were. I'm not saying some of the newer ones are not scary. In fact, you're going to see some of the newer ones on this list. However, he's such a great animatronic, and I'm actually really mad that he didn't come back this year. I was really hopeful he'd come back, and maybe he will return some year, and in which case, I'm going to buy him for sure, if he does.
Help me! Help me! Mommy! Mommy! Help me!
At number 9, we have Lunging Lily. First off, her animation is great. Again, the moving mouth is always something I look for when I buy an animatronic. Every year, I try to buy something with a moving mouth. I also love how she just sits there kind of crouched down on the floor and then lunges out at you. She's actually the oldest animatronic in my collection that I still have. To this day. 2014 was my first year ever setting foot inside the store, and I saw her there, and I was like, I have to get her. So she's actually one of the first animatronics that I have, because November 1st of that year, she was in stock, so I bought her that day. And I don't have the newer version or anything. She's the oldest animatronic in my collection. And I'm very happy to have her.
Come a little closer. I just want to hug you. Don't worry.
I won't bite.
At number 8, we have Abandoned Nannie. So I know a lot of you watching this probably already know this because I said it so many times in the store. I absolutely hate dolls. And this one is probably one of the scariest dolls Spirit has ever sold. Her design is so weird with kind of like the broken apart face and the one eye is like popping out and like bigger than the other. I think that's really cool. But also what I love about her is how she's just kind of standing there and she looks like a normal doll. And then her face opens up like that. That is just so awesome, and I love that design. I've seen it on a couple of things, and it's just so cool. I think her audio is good, and her voice lines and everything is great. And I also love how she has like two voices, like the little kind of like, I almost want to say like little kitty voice, and then like the crazy scary demon voice is really. Unfortunately, I never got a chance to buy her because she was never in stock at any of the stores I went to in 2019. However, I think she is a great animatronic, and I really hope Spirit brings her back someday. So some of you may be surprised by this, but at number 7, we have the Deranged Bunny. First off, I am a huge fan of, like, bunny men and, like, scary bunny rabbits and stuff like that. So this guy is so awesome. I really hope we have more props like this in the future. His design is actually pretty creepy. It's really well done. I like how he has this, like, really intimidating look to him. He looks like really dangerous, and he has a pretty fair amount of gore. And I also love how he just rises out of the hat like that. I love that. Even the audio is pretty good on him too. Unfortunately, I don't have him either. I actually never even heard of him until 2020. But he's a really cool design, and I really hope Spirit brings him back too.
Teach a class about slashers, and you still walked into a dark alley. Alone. Strange that you and I have never spoken on the phone. This is long overdue.
At number 6, we have the new Ghostface animatronic. First of all, I love that you can change both the faces and the knives and kind of make it your own thing. He has some pretty good animation too between both the head tilting and that super violent stabbing motion. I really wish we saw more violent stabbing motion on animatronics, actually. I also like that he uses licensed audio. I feel like Spirit needs to use licensed audio more often. Well, I think that's all I have to say about him, and I do hope to get him this year, so I will be keeping an eye out for him, and also you should keep an eye out for an unboxing of him.
Abandon all hope. There is no escape. Your soul is mine.
So believe it or not, at number 5, we have the demonic Gatekeeper. This guy is just so great. I love how he just rises up. He's huge in person, actually. He actually gets pretty intimidating. Again, I love the mouth movement. I think the way he lights up is great. Like, almost like he's on fire. And I also love that you can hook him up to a fog machine. Aside from that, another thing I really look for in an animatronic is lots of phrases. Which, this guy has 4 phrases, and they aren't very long. They're actually pretty generic, but they're good. Sometimes I like some more of the generic things. Also, his setup is pretty easy. There's a lot less, if you don't have him, there's a lot less parts than you think. I also think the detail on him is really good. And I'm very happy to have him in my collection.
Yum, yum, yum! Sometimes it's sweet, sometimes it's not. One thing I'll tell you though, it'll do more than rot your teeth out.
At number 4, we have Cotton Candy Dan. First off, I'm not a huge fan of clowns. However, he is so incredible. He has a pretty interesting color scheme, and the detail is so cool. Also, he has a lot of animation between the stirring the cotton candy back and forth, and then pulling Jim's head out of the cotton candy bucket. It's a really interesting and creative concept. I just love it. It's so great. And he's one of the best techie animatronics Spirit has ever sold. I also think that it's interesting that aside from his eye lighting up, the cotton candy bucket lights up too. And I think it would look kind of cool with a fog machine like inside the cotton candy bucket. However, there's not like much room for you to do that, so I'm not going to be doing that. However, he's a really cool animatronic, and I'm so glad that I bought him.
Your soul fills the night air, soon to join my pot of despair. Add a dash of the smell of death, and up will rise the demon's breath.
At number 3, we have the Cultris. The detail on this one is pretty interesting, actually. She does look like a green ice cream cone, but she's pretty cool. The animation is crazy between both the stirring hand and the head lifting up and the mouth movement, even though the mouth wasn't working in that video. And also, pouring the bottle into the cauldron is so crazy. I also didn't have her hooked up to a fog machine in the video. However, I also really like that the fog machine like comes out of the bottle and then up out of the cauldron. She's just such a great animatronic. And unfortunately, I don't have her anymore because she broke a couple days after I bought her. However, I think she's a great animatronic.
There is another world, a darker world, filled with nightmares. Come there with me. I will not return empty-handed.
So at number 2, we have the Nightmare Harvester. So again, I love the side-to-side movement. It's just really cool. The mouth movement is also great. Also, his design is so interesting. I love how he's carrying the pumpkin in one hand, but I also love that he's like this crazy burlap monster. Also, the light up eyes and the light up pumpkin are so cool. Also, his audio is pretty good too, with not only the voice lines are good, but also like the voice acting. I also kind of like how they've reused his growl at the end of the thing. I kind of like how they've reused that on multiple animatronics, like Nightcrawler, him, and Man's Possessed Friend. Unfortunately, I don't have him either, but hopefully Spirit will return him some year, and if they do, I'm going to buy him. Before I reveal the number 1 spot, I just want to go over a few honorable mentions. So these are some of my other favorite animatronics, but did not make the list. They are Nibbles the Clown, the Black Heart, Wolf Spitter, Gruesome Granny, Peekaboo Clown, and Rising from the Grave Grim Reaper. And my favorite animatronic of all time is... So believe it or not, my favorite animatronic ever sold by Spirit is Nightcrawler. He is the most disturbing animatronic Spirit has ever sold. The detail is crazy. He looks almost like skeletal, but at the same time, it just looks so wrong. Like, it's so weird. Like, I can't even describe it. Also, his posture is terrifying. Of that, like, his feet are like hands. Like, he's almost like a monkey or something. His animation is incredible. He both has, like, that jump scare, and then when he's retracting, he just sways like that. It's so realistic. He looks so realistic in person. Also, his audio is awesome with, like, that scream at the beginning. It sounds so weird. Like, it sounds, like, so human-like, yet so much like an animal at the same time. Also, his growls are pretty good. Like I said, I like how they've reused that growl that they had on, like, Nightmare Harvester and Man's Possessed Friend. He doesn't have mouth movement like the others. However, I don't feel like he needs to. Like, just everything with, like, his mouth hanging open like that and his hands and, like, his posture and everything. He looks just so painful and, like, dangerous and stuff like that. He's just awesome. Unfortunately, I don't have him anymore. However, I'm really hopeful Spirit will return him some year. So yeah, there are my favorite animatronics ever sold by Spirit. Once again, I can't thank you guys enough for 500 subscribers. I can't believe we got this far already. It means so much to me, and I'm going to buy a lot more and upload a lot more if you guys keep subscribing. So, there it is. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!